Hi, I'm Sharon Hanby Roby, and this is Safe Space with Sharon. Today we're going to be talking about regret. And the reason I'm doing that is because one of my subscribers asked me, how do you get over regrets? Well, regrets are kind of complicated because they can cover so many different areas of our lives. Regrets from, a job you didn't take or an opportunity that got missed. But I think one of the biggest regrets is involving relationships, especially family and friends. It's just so easy to be quick-witted with that tongue and say or do something that you live to regret. I think this is especially true when it involves children, grandchildren, and friends. And so when she asked me, how do you get over regret? Well, I think the first thing is you have to acknowledge your feelings. Yeah, be honest about it. Did you make a mistake? Did you say something you regret? And so you need to think about that without judging yourself. Just be honest about your feelings and what you've done. And then I think it's really important to reflect on the experience. Because honestly, we can all learn something from everything that happens to us in life. And ultimately, that's what forms our character. That's what gives us strength, courage, and learning. I mean, there's just so much to learn from the things we've done in life, both positive and negative. And so I think it's acknowledging and trying to understand why we did what we did. There's a verse in the Bible that talks about Martha. I always considered myself the Martha. It's when Jesus came to visit the two sisters, and the one sister was in the kitchen trying to get everything prepared for a meal, etc. And she was complaining that her sister was too busy visiting with Jesus and not helping her get the meal ready for Jesus. In my past, I would have been the Martha. But you know what? I've gotten over that a long time ago. And I'm so grateful because I regret those moments of, cleaning too much or doing too much around the house and not taking the time to have basic, joyful experiences. Like, I'd rather people just drop in on me now so I don't have to think about getting anything ready. But I've really learned that it doesn't make sense to waste more time taking care of things that have no feelings than to enjoy the actual things that have feelings, that matter. So I'm no longer a Martha, and I'm not going to dwell on the times that I was the Martha, because those times are over, and I'm no longer that person. I've learned from those experiences. And I think that's what a lot of regrets can bring to you, is positivity, learning. And so it's teaching us to make better choices. I can be quick-witted or quick-tongued and make statements, or I used to. I'm better at that now, most of the time. There are still moments when I say something to my husband that I wish I hadn't said. It's like trying to tell him how to drive or how to do something. I'm still working on those things. But I'm not going to have regret over it. I'm going to learn from it. And the first thing I'm going to do in those situations is apologize to him. And I think when it comes to relationships, if there's any way to save that relationship, if you said or done something you regret, then make amends, if it's possible. and ask for forgiveness. Explain, you know what, I was wrong. And I've learned that that's something I should never do again. And I will do my best not to. I think also that a lot of times people can carry their regrets with them for a long time. That's hurting no one but yourself. You have to learn to focus on the present and what you can do right now to improve situations, to learn from them. It's kind of like mindfulness practicing, really thinking about how you'd rather be than what you've been, and then work on that and give yourself credit for that. I also think that one of the biggest things is forgiving ourselves, especially if it's a big regret that damaged relationships. Carrying that with you is awful. If you've done everything you can to try and make amends and it still hasn't worked out, forgive yourself. Acknowledge you made a mistake and forgive yourself. And I think forgiving ourselves is so hard. We're so judgmental on ourselves. But when it comes to that, for me, as a Christian, I realize God has forgiven me for a lot of things, and I am not a higher power than him. So what right do I have not to forgive myself if he's already forgiven me? So we have to do that. We have to be gentle with ourselves, loving with ourselves, merciful, gracious. Think of how it would be if someone did or something they regretted in the relationship they have with you. And if they came to you and said, I am so, so sorry. And I won't make excuses. I acknowledge what I did, and I'm hoping you'll forgive me. Would you forgive them? Most likely. Then why won't you forgive yourself? Honestly, that's the best gift you can give yourself. Forgiving yourself. So I hope this helps you moving forward. But it's always a good idea to talk it through with a trusted friend, family member, just someone you can talk to. And sometimes that person is a perfect stranger. It just happens nonchalantly. On a plane. Who knows? God will give you opportunities for that. But I hope that you can learn to forgive yourself. Leave the regrets in the past. Throw them in a laundry bag and throw them out the window. And move on. And start to enjoy your life instead. I appreciate you watching this video today. I hope you'll subscribe to Safe Space with Sharon and let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. Have a blessed day.